I will now recognize the gentleman from North Carolina for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for calling this important hearing to discuss the threat of political Islam. We're blessed to live in a country, excuse me. We're blessed to live in a country that has the fundamental liberty of religious freedom. And religious freedom allows individuals to hold and express their beliefs without undue government interference. It does ensure that people can choose their faith or no faith and practice it openly. And it's important to protect our individual liberties from extremism that seeks to erode our values as a country. One example of the extremism we want to protect our country from occurred in just 2025 when parents in Washington state allegedly attempted an honor killing of their teenage daughter for refusing an arranged marriage. This appalling level of extremism is incompatible with our way of life and must not be allowed to take root in our country. Mrs. Muckelberg, in your experience investigating instances of political Islam in the United States, how prevalent would you say it's become across the country?
In my testimony, I talked about there being 8,000 organizations across the United States. They're working in lockstep. It is extremely prevalent and growing massively.
So in your view, does political Islam pose a threat to the fundamental values of American democracy?
Yes, it does, and they openly say it.
Well, Mr. Blair, I want to come to you for just a moment. During the 4 years of open border policies under the Biden administration, people from all around the world came into our country, frankly, without any vetting. We've seen that. The failure to secure our border provided those who seek to commit violent acts against the United States with a perfect opportunity to enter our nation undetected. And Mr. Blair, how did the Biden administration's open border policies impact the spread of political Islam in the United States?
We were mandated to look the other way under prosecutorial discretion. We released known terrorists. Well, we didn't know it until after the fact, but we had multiple people from all across the world coming into the United States with falsified documents, specifically from Iran, who'd come in with Venezuelan documents under the guise that we would not be able to identify them, which was the case. And that's why later on, Representative Gonzalez was able to, through a FOIA, find out how many on the non-disclosed docket of the criminal illegal aliens that we released there were, and I think there's a little over 600,000 of them that Border Patrol and ICE released during that time period.
And would you say there's security threats that grew during that period that we're still dealing with even today?
100%, sir. I mean, a lot of the information that was given to us as Border Patrol agents when we were on the ground was misinformation. And we didn't have that at that time, even to this day, be able to vet the information, whether that's going to be the sponsor, whether that's going to be the country of origin, even their age, even their, or their family status. We couldn't really vet any of that. And so now when ICE is trying to conduct operations or target operations, they have that bad information where they're going out city to city trying to find those that seek harm to our communities.
Thank you, sir. I want to come back to Ms. Muckelberg for just a moment. During this subcommittee's last hearing on this topic, I discussed how the FBI had successfully thwarted an ISIS-inspired terrorist attack in North Carolina. In that story, you may recall, it was a national story. Christian Sturdivant, 18-year-old, sought to become a martyr for ISIS by planning to carry out a deadly attack on New Year's Eve in Mint Hill, North Carolina, which is right in my district. Following that incident in North Carolina, I want to ask you, do you believe there's been an increase in ISIS using social media chat rooms and other features to radicalize Americans?
Yes, and it's something that we actually saw. I spent 10 years really hyper-focused and working in Europe, and it was probably one of the biggest threats, the way that ISIS and many different other Islamic jihadist groups are using social media, are disseminating very terrifying videos and imams and their organizations. They're pushing nonstop videos and nonstop recruitment efforts, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hunter Lopez, let me come to you real quickly in the last few seconds I have. Thank you, first of all, for coming and testifying today. Since that incident occurred and the school district officials took full responsibility for the situation, have you seen a change in how the school has approached student clubs on campus?
Yes, so I've actually, I have a lot of relationships with a lot of teacher sponsors for different groups, and they said that they're trying to say that they're putting these new policies in paper, but in terms of the way that certain people are still being treated, there are still conservative students, including myself, that are still being treated unfairly according to the standard they're holding for other people.
Well, I applaud you for speaking out about this and coming to testify today. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
I thank the gentleman from North Carolina.